Welcome to Catherine's tutorial. In this video, we learn about dihybrid cross in detail. Dihybrid cross. What is dihybrid cross? If you talk about monohybrid cross, mono means single. We took height of the plant as character here and we crossed. It is tall plant and dwarf plants were crossed where we took one character. So it is known as monohybrid cross. Based on this monohybrid cross, Mendel has proposed law of segregation. Law of segregation. For dihybrid cross, he took two pairs of contrasting characters. Two pairs of contrasting characters. What are those two pairs of contrasting characters? They are nothing but seed shape and seed color. He took two, that is dominant and recessive character. So the dominant character is round. Round is the dominant character. What is the recessive form of this character? It is wrinkled. We took round shape of the seed, that is dominant character. It is dominant over the wrinkled. Wrinkled is the recessive form. For seed color, it took yellow. Yellow is the dominant character and green is recessive form. So to represent these characters, we always use alphabets in case of genetics, where we use uppercase for like dominant character and lowercase for recessive character. Here the genotype for round is capital R and the genotype for wrinkled is small r. Genotype for dominant yellow color is capital Y and here it is small y small. Okay, the parents, that is capital R, capital Y, that is round and yellow, and he crossed with small r, small y, that is wrinkled green. Okay, I'll write here. It is round yellow, green, wrinkled, or wrinkled green. So it comes first actually. Okay, Y represents the color only. So it is green, it is wrinkled. So when he crossed these two parents, he got, this is parent generation. In F1 generation, he got the gametes in this way. It is capital R, small r, combination of both capital Y, small y. But even though here the dominant character expressed where all the young ones exhibits round and yellow color. That is a dominant character over the recessive form. So here the dominant only will express the character. It happened in F1 generation. But what he has done, he just crossed this capital R, like this gamete again with another gamete. It is known as selfing. Okay, selfing. He has done selfing in F1 generation. Cross with this gametes. I will write here so that it will be clear. Capital R, capital Y, small y. Okay, this is what he has done in case of F1 generation, known as selfing. He crossed, the parental generation is capital R, capital Y. It is crossed with small y. It is a parent generation. The resultant gametes are capital R, capital Y, small y. So this is F1 generation where all the characters are dominant. So he just self-crossed the gametes what he obtained in F1 generation, that is capital R, capital Y, small y. Okay, there are four possible gametes we can able to find in this case. Okay, so remember the gametes, okay, will be, if the gametes are produced from this particular one will be containing capital R, the other one will be containing small r. Okay, one capital Y comes here, one small y goes here. Okay, but here you can able to find again capital R, small r. The small y can pair with this capital R, okay, and this capital Y can pair with small y. Okay, this is what will happen in case of self cross. Okay, we'll just mention here. When we cross them, we'll get all these 4 different type of gametes. Okay, so capital R with capital Y followed by small r with small y. These are pure forms. Okay, that is round and yellow. And here it is capital R, small y, small r, capital Y. And one more important thing when you write this gamete, if you are not thorough with the gamete, I'll just give you an easier way to write this gametes. So we are going to draw a Punnett square to find out the ratio of dihybrid cross. So it is 4 gametes. No, so I have to draw 1, 2, 3 and 4. Here we are going to write the 4 gametes. Okay, so we'll write the gametes. Remember to write the gametes. Start to write capital R, small r, small r. Okay, then write capital Y, small y, capital Y, small y. Okay, can you able to understand? Capital R, the first 2 boxes, small r in the next 2 boxes. And when you write this capital Y, small y, you can go with the alternative. Capital Y, small y, capital Y, small y. So, we can able to find all these 4 gametes. So, the same we can write here. Capital R, capital Y, capital R, small y, small r, capital Y, small r, small y. If you write the gametes, okay, the probable offspring of these of this particular cross, okay, that has happened in this is actually F2 generation. Okay, so I'll write this capital R here. So I'm writing here capital R, capital Y, capital Y, capital Y. If I cross this, take this first gamete, you just cross with all these 4. So where you can able to fill the boxes. Okay, take the first one, cross with this one, you will get this probable offspring here. Take this again and cross with this one, you can be able to get the probable offspring here. Take this one and you have to cross with this one. And one more important thing, when you write the genotype, the capital letters or uppercase should come first, followed by the recessive form. So here I will be writing capital R, capital Y, small y. Here capital R, small r, capital Y, capital Y. The last one is capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Here I am just filling the boxes. So here capital R, capital Y, small y. Again capital R, small y, small y. Capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Capital R, small y, small y. Take this one and cross with all these 4. Capital R, small r, capital Y. Again capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Again capital R, small r, capital Y. Here small r, capital Y, small. The fourth one, again you have to cross capital R, small r, capital Y, small y. Again here capital R, small y, small y. Again capital R, capital Y, small y. And here small r, small y, small. So we have got all the probable offsprings by drawing a Punnett square, and we know this Punnett square was given by Reginald C. Punnett. He gave this method of finding out the probable offsprings. Okay, so we'll just go with the like phenotypic characters or phenotypic appearance of these probable offspring. R, as we already know, it represents round shape. So R is round. Y represents yellow, dominant character. I am just writing it in a short form. Again capital R comes, so it is round. One capital Y is there, it is yellow again. Again capital R is there, so round. Capital Y is there, so it is yellow. capital R, round, capital Y, yellow. Even if it is 1 is there, they'll express a dominant character. Here, again round yellow here, round green, round yellow, round green, round yellow, again wrinkled yellow, Here you can able to find round yellow, round green, wrinkled yellow, wrinkled green. Okay, so we have to write the phenotypic ratio here. So I am writing the phenotypic ratio. We have to find out 4 probable offsprings here. So we'll just start with round yellow. Okay, we'll just count how many round yellows are. I write the ratio. The first ratio should start with dominant character. So here we are going to find the dominant character. Round yellow 1, round yellow it is 2, here it is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, so here we can able to, it goes in this way, can able to find, so this line, so all these 4 and all these 4, okay, and this line shows all the round yellow offspring, so it is 9 in number. Next we have to write the intermediate form, so we'll write round green. So it is a different combination, round is dominant, green is recessive. Okay, we'll write intermediate in between, that is when you find this round green, here it is 1, again it is 2 and here it is 3. So I can able to find 3, round green is 3 number, the ratio is 3, and next one is wrinkled yellow. It is recessive character, it is dominant character. When you find this wrinkled yellow, you can able to find here 1, 2, 3. The ratio is 3. The last one where we write recessive character, that is wrinkled green. So where can you find wrinkled green? It is only one wrinkled green you can able to find. So the ratio is 1. So the phenotypic ratio is 9:3:3. So here you can able to find the genotypic ratio by plotting this genotype. Okay, find out how many capital R, capital Y combination, capital R, small y combination. So you have to find out all this combination where you can able to find the genotypic ratio of this organism. So based on this dihybrid cross experiment, Mendel proposed law of independent assortment. So about law of independent assortment. So what is the law of independent assortment? Okay, there are 2 characters, 2 dominant and 2 recessive. Okay, it is round and yellow, it is wrinkled and green. Okay, when we combine them and we cross them, we got again dominant characters in case of F1 generation, but F2 has got these many forms actually. Okay, what is the law of independent assortment explains? It is nothing but even though they are combined together, round and yellow and wrinkled and green, these 2 are known as pure form, but when you plot in F2 generation, you can able to find a new combination. So this is a pure form, this is also a pure form, but here you got a cross combination of all these characters. So that is what Mendel found, that during the gamete formation, the characters can able to independently can go and join or mingle with the other character. Independent assortment, they can go and they can combine with any of the characters. Okay, they can decide their own triads or where they can able to combine with. So it doesn't depend on the other one. So yellow doesn't depend on round, okay, but green doesn't depend on wrinkled. They can able to make a combination with the round seeds, they can able to make a combination with the wrinkled seed. Okay, this is known as law of independent assortment. Monohybrid cross. As a result of monohybrid cross, Mendel has proposed law of segregation. What is law of segregation explains? The law of segregation explains that even during gamete formation. So what happens here? For law of segregation, we'll take monohybrid cross as experiment. So I'll just write here. He crossed capital T with small t, he got small t, capital T in F1 generation. Again he crossed, self-crossed capital T, small t. He got the pure forms back again, okay, with a ratio of 1:2:1 as genotypic ratio. This one form is pure form, this form is also pure recessive form. It is heterozygous condition. So according to Mendel, so what happens here? What is the law of segregation explains? Even F1 generation, they cannot able to segregate, but even when they go for selfing, when it has been done, selfing was done, we can able to see the parental characters reappeared again in case of F2 generation. So whatever characters has been lost in the F1 generation has been reappeared again when he self the gametes in F1 generation. This is known as law of segregation. Even though they are mixed together, but finally we can able to get the pure forms back, and that is law of segregation. What is law of independent assortment? It is not these two characters should be combined or always combined. They can able to form a different combination. They can able to independently assort themselves, where they can able to independently find their own pathway. That is known as law of independent assortment. So these two Mendelian laws have been proposed based on monohybrid cross and dihybrid cross. Okay. Learn about the next topic in classical genetics. Thank you.